Okay. Let's see what happens here. I think I'm live now, and I think some people had some questions. And oh. Oh. Oh, Terry Snip Pantone says my drinking team is better than yours, and that I would drink Jaeger. Oh, not Jaeger, sorry, a margarita. Margaritas aren't my jam. They're not my jam, Terry. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's been a long time since I've had anything to drink, but there we go. Okay, so I am live, and I don't know if you are there yet, so I'm going to try and find you. Hi, Wendy. I see that you are here. I don't really see it. I'm trying to find it. I feel like I'm still live. I know I'm still live. Just told me that something was wrong. So if you see me, there, 2 minutes. Okay, so here we go. All right. Aw, thank you so much. So what is your favorite drinks out there? Just curious. I'm gonna turn off my, or turn down my volume. I can hear you boys, so hey. Boys, I can hear you, okay? Just so you know, I know you're having fun, it's good. I'm gonna show everybody more of the, look at that. San Francisco. This is very expensive real estate in my backyard is San Francisco, so you can imagine I just did this move to Cali. No, I'm just kidding. Good, I am live. Everything is working well. How is everybody doing out there? Thank you very much, Amy. Family is very well out here. I hope everybody's family is doing well. And okay, so here, why don't we get started a little bit on our talk on Mediumship Monday. What are you doing? Okay. Just getting in for the first live visit from North Carolina. Awesome, Jan. Water these days gave up pop for Lent. What else is anybody else doing? Oh, somebody's drinking a raspberry martini. Mine is water. And it turns out I really, really like sparkling orange bubbly. What part of North Carolina, Jan? Because that is pretty cool. Okay, so I want to know ways that this is an amazing opportunity. And again, I have to find, and if you're finding a way that you are able to be grateful and you have ability to support local businesses and restaurants that are going to be incredibly hurt by this. My day job is I work and help a federal program that helps companies, and I've been talking to companies, and some of these companies are tool and die makers and all over different parts of the US, and some are going out of business. So this is a very real thing. If you're finding yourself in a place where you're able to support local business, whether you're getting food or you call them up and buy gift cards or gift certificates, I suggest you do that. If you are some of the metaphysical shops, especially the one in Saline, which I really want to talk about earth elements in Saline. If you're able to buy a gift certificate, if you think you're going to go shopping there, to support them and give them a call and try and make sure that if you have the ability and you're privileged enough to be okay during this real pandemic crisis, where there are some businesses that will never turn their doors back open, and some people that will always lose their job, to for sure give what you can. Hey, Houston, I need to talk to you. My daughter is possibly a medium. How do I guide her? That is a really big conversation because I'm sorry, my glasses, because everybody been my son is starting to have um, allergies. So are you guys feeling the allergies coming up? So here is something I want to say about that. Everybody is a medium to differing degrees. Sometimes we're mediums, mediums that are supposed to deliver messages. Sometimes you're mediums to help your family. Sometimes you're a medium to, there are many, many different types of mediums. So that would be something I'd have to have a conversation with her about and need to speak with her and see where she wants to go and how to develop, because it isn't just about jumping up and doing it. It's about developing that trust and actually like learning that deep compassion. I hope that makes sense. But I would love to talk to her. So let's make sure that because I have some classes, and I have in June, I'm going to be doing a weekend retreat. Oh, she's 11. Still like to talk to her. One of the things that can happen, and this is a real interesting thing, and I don't necessarily know the answer to this. I like that. So she's 11. So one of the things that we find interesting is that, and I've seen this happen over my career as a medium, is that when sometimes unwittingly, when we have a medium that's within the family, we don't, they start to call things in unknowingly, right? Like things from the other side can come in and visit. They don't really know that they're calling them in. These things can happen. But when you start to hit puberty, it just goes through the roof. So spirit activity at that time can really become exponential. So I would really want to make sure that we talk to her soon. So make sure that you actually get a hold of me so I'm able to help you and help her, because sometimes it can be pretty scary. And you know what I want to say is, when it comes to spirits and spirit in spaces, you are the one in control. You're the person. You have even as a medium at the tender age of 11 can say, no spirits can come in here. This child needs to know they have control of their space. So that's super important to, I want to make sure that you hear me say that. So there's no, she had spirits since she was 3. Yeah, so just make sure that you're supporting her on asking questions. How is she doing? What's happening? Ask her what kind of boundaries she's putting. Is she able to feel comfortable in telling these spirits they have to leave her alone, that she's not comfortable, they have to go until she's ready to talk to them? Because talking to people who have crossed the other side can be really, really scary. And it depends, again, on her gift. It's so much dependent on, oh, she does tell the spirits to leave. Good. Glad to hear that. That's perfect. But that's true for everybody here. You're in control, as much as we say in control, right? If anything, we're really recognizing how much control we don't have in life, because all of these things are happening around us. But everybody has the ability to say that no spirits can come around me that aren't for my highest good or my family's highest good. And I don't allow any spirits that are here to, that haven't crossed over, to come into my place. And I strongly suggest you hold your place here, that you hold your space now where you're at. Okay. Susie, I know what you do for a living. I'm on to you, girl. No, I'm just kidding. How am I doing? I'm doing actually really good. I'm in San Francisco. I just made the trek across country. No, I'm actually doing really good. I took a bit of a walk today. I think one of the things that it's so easy to drop when I'm working from home. So I work a day job, and I'm doing sessions on at my home computer, and I'm doing groups on my home computer, and I'm always sitting at my table. I'm always, so it's like I didn't even realize how beautiful today was. So if you're in Michigan, and North Carolina's got to be gorgeous. If you're in Michigan, get your butt outside, because it is nice. You can't go jump in a lake yet, which is one of my favorite things to say in summertime here is go jump in a lake. But you can go outside and get some vitamin D hitting your skin. So that's pretty important. So self-care is a big deal, not only for you, but also for me. So Susie, you got my little joke there. Good. So that's what our talk is about today. Actually, it's about self-care. How are you taking care of yourself? Are you getting outside and exercising? Are you taking small little walks? Are you drinking water? Are you able to have a either like a Zoom or a Skype or FaceTime with family or friends? Are you able to, extend some goodness to local businesses? Are you able to do things where you're feeling great? Are you, even if it is like, I saw something where these mothers got together and they're friends, they just got together and everybody sat in the back of their minivan and said hi to the other person from at least 6 feet away. So it's inventive ways that you can see without putting yourself or your family in danger. Oh, Tony, are you walking and listening to me right now? Oh, Tony, are you walking and listening to me right now? Rita Max Z, you are awesome. Rita is, I met Rita. I want to talk about you, Rita, for a second. I hope you're still watching by the time I start talking about you. Is that I met Rita when she was doing I don't know if she is putting into, if she is putting in, if you're doing this, but I met her at Crapalo when she was doing a self-care weekend. Just an amazing, wonderful, I mean, I hope to know you my whole life, Rita, because your smile is so infectious. But she did this amazing self-care thing. And I want to share something that really, no, this is really a graph. This really is. Hey, it is a total, that is real. That is my day job. My dog just, okay, sorry. My dog just got a little scared. No, that really is real. That's part of what I do during my day job. So I needed that. So Rita did something, she was like self-care around eating, if I remember correctly. And one of the things she said to me that blew my mind, I know maybe it's going to tell you a little bit about my craziness, but is that it's about self-care with food. Now, and many of my people who follow me are women. I always say men usually don't believe in mediums or don't seek mediums until after they've crossed the other side and tell people how real the other side is. That's number one. And they seem to really like to talk to me, so I guess that's good. But one of the things she said to me was, oh God, Rita, I hope I don't get it wrong, is that drinking water to make yourself full before you eat is not a part of self-care. You're filling yourself up with empty calories, with water instead of food, so you're nourished. And I thought, when you're nourishing your body, you really want to nourish your body. I mean, it's not it's obviously not a far, I don't see you replying at all, Rita. So I'm just going to assume you got it on and got off again. But it was kind of mind blowing to me when she said that, like, no, you really need to, food nourishes, water. I mean, water is important, but you can't do it in lieu of food, which I was like, well, I just thought, well, whatever I thought, I don't know. It kind of blew my mind in that particular way. So how you nourish yourself with food right now is important, is my whole point, because you may be self-soothing with food right now and finding yourself I had a client I was speaking to today. He said, you don't really want carrots. You won't eat the carrots when all you really want is Doritos, because what you're going to do is eat the carrots and then the Doritos. Maybe, maybe not. If you're giving yourself something nourishing like carrots, you may decide not to do the Doritos, hopefully. I hope this is making sense. Sometimes I need you guys to answer and tell me if it's making a little bit of sense before I go on. You can tell me, because I have my egg salad sandwich waiting here for dinner. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And that I'm still alive. I think I am. Okay, so self-care. Let's get out there, get some fresh air. Let's get walking and moving. Let's get jumping if you can. No Doritos. But I want you to be thoughtful about what you're having. And if you're eating Doritos, I want you to not do it mindlessly. I want you to do it thoughtfully, where you're like, I'm having this, I'm not pushing it away, but how much am I able to like really bring into my body where I'm satisfied and I'm in my body at the same time. You want to be satisfied and in your body. You're here for the fridge auction? That's hilarious. And somebody's here from South Africa. Fantastic. So, wow, I just went away. There is no auction, hate to tell you. This is not, let me just, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. That is totally right. It looks like, I think I'm still live, and I've got to take these people who are on. I am visible, okay. So there's some people on here looking for a fridge auction, which is just weird. So I need to go into my Facebook page and kind of block them unless they just go away. So this is a mediumship page, and we're going to be talking about mediumship on the daily, and okay, so I have just to try to deal with that issue as well. Okay, all right. Perfect. They should try eBay. That's where you'll find it. Oh, that would be hilarious. That could be code for something I don't know about. So let's talk about the rest of how does this, we're building on the idea. Oh, and I want to talk about that as well. So I see your comment again, Susie, and I want to make sure that I talk to it. So about 3:45. So at 3:45, one of the things, now there's two things that I want to talk about. When you're, okay, well, let's not call anybody names. Let's try, remember, if we want to be as inviting as possible to men, they need help. So let's try and not, hang on a second. Is this for real? Okay. This is just hilarious. I don't even know what to say. It's just so funny. I don't know how in God's name would you think that a mediumship page is going to sell a fridge? So what's going to have to happen, Dale Heaton, is guess what? You're just going to be kicked out of here, as is everybody else. You're resisting the temptation to to talk about my refrigerator. I'll sell you a refrigerator for $10,000. $10,000. Get it to me in cash. Wire it to me right now, and you got yourself a fridge, dude. That's what's gonna happen. A fridge. It is hilarious. I guess I must have been hacked somehow. I don't know who would have hacked me, but that's weird. I'm trying to figure out how to ban them, but whatever. I guess it's silly. There's no yeah. Yeah, Dale. I mean, there's going to be no fridge auction unless you want to, give me 10,000 cash for a fridge that I'm not going to ship. That you have to show up and get, and it's really small. No, it doesn't. It's a very small refrigerator. This is just. $10,003.99. Okay, I'm just gonna stop watching it because that's just silly. Oh, this stream was shared on Fridge FM Live in England. That's so funny. I wonder why. So who knows? Somebody must thought it was a really kind of cute joke, but it's not. So somebody's looking for a fridge in England. Oops, somebody made a mistake, but I'm sure nobody's going to lose their job because that would just suck. So we're only here to talk about mediumship. And if we're here to talk about mediumship, you never know. Yeah, Billy, it's, I'm going to be positive that my brother in spirit has done this to me. That's what I'm going to be positive about. 10,000 is a bit steep for a fridge, especially because I'm not selling a fridge. This is just mediumship on the daily. But you know what, Billy? I want to invite you, Adam, Kenneth, refrigerator dude who must have shared this link to totally like my page and come here every day at 5 o'clock while we're all down here. I gotta stop looking at it because it's silly. So if you're here for a refrigerator for the last time, I'm not selling them. I don't know where it came from. It's super funny it's here, but no, this is mediumship readings. I read messages from angels, guides, and deceased loved ones. And today we're talking about self-care during COVID-19 lockdown. So that's what's happening, okay? Good luck on your refrigerators. Well, you got to go somewhere else, Dale. It's not gonna work here. So one of the things that I think that we can do, and this is about discernment during this age when we're doing COVID-19. When we're doing COVID-19, during COVID-19, oh my God. During COVID-19, and we're in this sort of phase of staying home and trying to stay safe and keeping other people safe, one of the things that I want you to do is kind of get in touch with angelic conversation, because this is a time where you can actually go a little bit more internal and really begin to where you can really where you really get I'm wondering if this is a let me just check my Zoom. Huh. Wow, that's a really interesting thing to have happen. All right, I'm just going to, laughing is good for the soul. So that is perfect. And I'm going to, I'm just going to give some messages because I'm pretty positive that that site wouldn't have been this link wouldn't have been shared, and I'm just going to trust that whatever happens with spirit is what's um, is what really is supposed to be happening. So one of the things that this probably is maybe Zoom bombing or some ridiculous stuff as that. So so I want to just I need to talk about a mother figure that's coming forward. It's funny because I do keep hearing God Save the Queen, and and I do know that they're in England. Okay, so I do want to talk about, I do need to talk about, there's just, I have, one of the things that is, I have a Marcy or some name that starts with an M, be a Marcy or a Mary, because they both look the same to me as I'm seeing it written out. So this would have been a writing that would have been an M session. And I'm also saying that it feels like she is, it's almost like she's showing me 19 lane or that she lived at number 19. And we also have 19 people here. So there's like a something to do with the number 19. I have to say that's my first thing. And I'm not even waiting for any sort of like, that I'm not waiting for any kind of validation for any of this. I do need to talk about, gosh, this is another M name, but this is for a younger male, making me feel like Manjinder. This is a foreign name to me. I don't think it makes me feel as if a friend of mine. So it'd been like a 6'1" Indian, like from India themselves. And I'm hearing Manjinder, and I'm seeing GW. This is also a brother energy coming forward. And now I'm just going to be, her nickname is Queen Mary. That is, okay. So that's funny. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'm actually, hang on. So with this, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm sorry. She appointed. Okay, so I do need, so is the mother also named Mary? And what I'll do is I'll just go through all of these comments before I post it all up and delete and ban and, and I just am not going to be watching them. So the Queen Mary, she appointed herself queen. That's funny. So, but does she also use because she makes me feel like she's making me feel grandmotherly as, she makes me feel grandmotherly to the point where she's making me feel as if you've named somebody around her name, either after her name particularly or thought about doing that. Do you understand that? And she's making a call out to her grandkids. So she's wanting to make sure she knows, she wants you, she's wanting just to make sure that she's calling out her grandkids and they need to know that she came out as well, that she's just looking for them. Now, the Queen, she's hilarious. She's also showing me, she's showing me being very, her handwriting being very particular, sort of scribbly. Do you understand that? All right. So she is, okay. So that's one of her, being a mother and being a grandmother was one of her super important, that's how she identified herself. And that's how she really was able to, she's very, very warm. So, I am still live, Julie, and it's kind of funny because there was a lot of weirdos on here talking about refrigerators wanting to be sold for some auction. So, I think it was all on purpose too, Susie. So it's just a real sort of interesting, it's an interesting, it's very interesting. I do need to talk about the sun. I do need to talk about, not the son. It's either a son or a brother, or he's telling me he's a son or a brother that was killed by a drunk driver, because I see that right now. And he's making me feel like there's a lot of guilt around not being able to say goodbye, not being able to, yeah, if anybody could just keep saying there's no fridge for sale here, that'd be great. So there's a brother that had been killed in an accident that was by a drunk driver, and he's coming forward and just making sure that just utilizing this time just to say goodbye. So I'm just seeing if there's anything else right now. I'm not hearing anything else for the moment, but I do I do need to talk about how important self-care is right now. I did my mom made me a mask. This is my mask right now. So she of course they're doing it on purpose. You're right. So anyway, your self-care and how you're doing it and how you're feeding into it and how you're like dealing with anything that's happening in life and how you're rolling with the punches is super important. And this is the way it happens. And I did say when there was 19 people is that, oh, 3:45. Yes, I'm sorry. We got derailed. You're right. I started giving readings and then I didn't 3:45. So, okay, so we need to talk about 3:45. Now, between 3 and 4, one of the things that a naturopath who is, one of my friends who's a naturopath says that is like the witching hour when something's going on with your liver and being out of balance with your liver. That's also a very much the witching hour for spirit to come in and have a conversation with you, wake you up, because it's sort of like, it's the time that you really it's the time that you finally you're quiet enough, your brain is quiet enough that you really begin to hear messages from the other side. So if this is happening over and over again, because I think I saw 2 people that said that it was happening on two people that it was happening for them to be waking up at 3:45, that I want you to try and make sure that you're writing down. Make sure you're writing down the thoughts that you're having immediately at that time, so that you're able to begin to track what's going on. And you're able to follow some of the lead that's happening from spirit. Because the truth is, as much as and I love this part because it's so apropos, is you have no control in life. You have no control if people keeps going on here and they absolutely know this is not a fridge place. It's an obviously. Oh, John, that's such a cute question. Can you predict if I'll be able to get a fridge soon? Here's my prediction for you, John. If you sit here, it's not going to happen. So, no, I'm going to say no. Anyway, it depends on how you want to get, like, COVID-19, we have no control over. If you're working from home, you have no control over. If you are right now laid off trying to deal with unemployment, you don't have any control over it. All you can do is roll with the punches. And rolling with the punches is all you can do. And it's not, I didn't share this Zoom with anybody. I didn't do any of those crazy, silly things. So I love that this is happening. You know what I say all the time, see light, be light. The more light you see, the better off you're going to be. Oh, you've blocked them all. Good job, Shelley. And how you face your life in these changing circumstances is a big deal, because it's going to show you how you're going to lean into your future. And the best thing to do is just not let it get you down as much as possible. So make sure you're writing journals, make sure you're trying to manifest things that are for your highest good, that you're trying to mindfully eat while you're out there, and you're trying to just fully embody where you're at and honor your feelings. So with that, oh, thank you, Susie. Everybody, see, the truth is, you know, this is something that's super important, is if you don't really speak to it, it really isn't, I mean, you're not going to end up, it's not going to become a part of your life. But if I end up getting mad or telling everybody off, they're having a great time. Good for them. Good for them. And how can you say anything is bad? It's not really bad. Because the truth is, all of these things happen all the time. And the easier you're able to roll with the punches, the better off it is. So anyway, with that, see light, be light. And I love you guys. If you are not on here, if you are here to buy a fridge, sorry, it's not going to happen. But you can get a mediumship session. Like the Facebook page, find my jannycook.com is my website. And I will see you all later. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Bye. Once I figure out where bye is. It's here.